Hey, it's Cliff, and in my last Sologenic slash Coreum video, I asked people in the comments section if they believed that Sologenic was going to be able to provide everything that they promised on within the first week of July. And it seemed like the comment section was pretty mixed. We had some people who were definitely bullish and were for it. And we had some people who were kind of bearish and didn't think they were going to deliver on everything that they said. So I'm going to go over what they were actually able to deliver on in this video and what they weren't. But first, I just want to say hi to Den. He's always the first person in my comment section that always says hi, Cliff. And for whatever reason, that makes me laugh and I enjoy it. So I want to say hi to Den so I can get to it before he gets to it. So anyway, hi, Den. But yeah, getting into it here. So just to show what they didn't deliver on, let's just get that out of the way first. Obviously, we don't have a tier 1 exchange at this point. There was some negotiation going on between the Solo team, and for whatever reason they couldn't hash out the details, and hopefully in the future we'll get that tier 1 exchange. But right now they have not delivered on that, and that upset quite a few people from what I can see. But I'm not necessarily going to hold them to that. You know, they're dealing with another party, so I'm sure they tried to do everything that they could, but they probably overpromised. That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe they should have kept that to themselves, that this was going to be added to a tier 1 exchange. Just should have kind of held off. But anyway, what they did deliver on, as you can see here, is the technical white paper. Now, I haven't read this yet. My plan is to actually sit down tomorrow and read this. I've just been too busy with work going on, but that's definitely on my to-do list. So I will leave a link down in the description if you have not read this yet. You just go here, hit technical white paper, and it will load a PDF, and you will be able to see all the details that are going into Coreum. Moving on from that. So they're working hard on developing these grants because obviously they want some utility to be placed on Core. So if you are a developer, this is definitely something that you should look into. So I'll leave this link down below. You just go here and hit apply. And basically how it works is they saved a certain amount of supply of Coreum so that they could pay you to develop on their blockchain, which, you know, if they're going to hold back any of the supply, this is definitely something that I want them to actually use the supply for. So just to kind of show you what they're doing, it says to incentivize the growth of the ecosystem, the Sologenic Development Foundation is deploying a grant program to fund and accelerate the construction of a sustainable and community-owned blockchain, which definitely down. We want developers to actually be utilizing this blockchain. So right now they have projects in focus. Obviously they're working on a wallet. We need a wallet to host our core. There's going to be DeFi protocols here. It says they're working on automatic market makers, lending and borrowing dApps, and yield farming dApps. So obviously we want to make our passive income as well on our Coreum, so they're trying to work on that as well. Add Coreum or core support to a project. Opening a pool request for other projects to support the Coreum network. If you're into pools, you know, this might be for you. If you're a developer, how's it work? Well, you got to fill out the application, which is what I showed you below. And it says the application is going to be reviewed by a panel of judges. One thing I'm kind of curious about in this is who are these panel of judges? In my opinion, I think this should be a part of the community. They could actually do this as a vote with Coreum. So I'm not really sure how they plan on doing that. If that's just going to be people on their team, but I want to see them open more of their decisions up to the community. But it says finalists are chosen and invited to a round of interviews with Coreum founders. So pretty much they're going to be the final say-so, which even then I'm cool with that, but I think it should be more community driven. The selected projects receive the funding and a set of milestones are established. And they actually put this into an article on Yahoo Finance the 5th of July. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll link this down below. You can kind of read through it. But definitely, if you're a developer, get in on this because they're going to give you free money, right? If you're trying to get paid, you're trying to build something that's going to have utility, then this is definitely for you. So One of the big issues that I saw so far with this white paper, and it kind of sucks because it was a spoiler for me, I haven't actually read it yet, but I saw the outrage already, is that they were switching Coreum to an inflationary model where originally it was supposed to be deflationary, and they kind of have reasons why they wanted to do it here, and here's what they say. So Coreum was initially designed to be deflationary, but later on the engineering team voted on an inflationary model since the deflationary ecosystem lacks security. With inflation, it is estimated that validators and delegators will lock approximately 80 to 90% of the whole supply. The more cores staked, the more secure the Coreum becomes. This is known as a high TVL. The inflation is set to be dynamic to ensure TVL remains around 80 to 90%. If it goes lower, inflation increases, and if it goes higher, it might even become deflationary. Other than the network security, with inflation, the fees will be multiple magnitudes lower, which I read that and I don't understand how the fees are going to be lower. But again, I haven't really looked into this yet. But I'm thinking if you're making the token inflationary, yeah, the fees might not be up front, but you're still diluting the supply. So is it really actually working in our favor? Probably not. Network participants can stake and delegate their tokens not only to hedge against inflation but earn more. See, it even says there they're saying that you could stake to hedge against inflation, but if there's a inflation compared to deflation already, then you're not really earning more. But okay. It's important to note that all the inflation and deflation are adjustable through governance, and the community can decide how the network behaves on chain. I saw a lot of outcry about this, so I could see this being one of the first governance proposals. People can go in there and vote and say, no, we were promised that this token was actually going to be deflationary, and you guys kind of did a last minute switcheroo to make it inflationary, and we are not down with that. So I could probably see that coming in the future. Anyway, other thing that they did provide here is a transaction explorer, which is pretty cool. This is something we definitely needed. It's kind of like the XRP scan, but in my opinion, it's just visually better. You know, one thing the Coreum team actually has going for them is when it comes to their visuals of how they're developing their website and everything, it looks great. I'll give them that. So it has like the price up here, has a supply, which, you know, could change because it's inflationary now. And just in general, you know, it has the blocks and everything, and it's pretty basic. You can put in your wallet address to see the transactions. Actually, I think I can go to one of these here. Yeah, so it'll show you like the voting power that you have in your transactions and everything. So it gives us a little bit more options to find out details. And actually the proposals are going to be here too. So if you want to vote, I'm assuming everything's going to be here, and you can just vote easily on this tab. What is this? Params, and that's pretty much it. Has a whole little transaction tab. Not bad. Anyway, moving on. One of the things that I was kind of upset about with the Sologenic team was that whole marketing event. I listened to that thing. It was like an hour or too long, really, but in my opinion, seemed like a huge waste of time. They spent hours talking about hashtags and how they were. It was a marketing event, okay, fair enough, but I don't know. I'm more of a technical guy, so it wasn't really beneficial to me. I don't want to sit around and talk about hashtag or what hashtag are we going to make for Solo that's going to help us, or we need to create a bunch of memes or whatever. If that's your thing, that's cool, but that's not me. I want to know technical details. I wanted to see the white paper. I want to know like what utility does this actually have, and a lot of Sologenic is kind of focusing on NFTs right now, and I'm not even really a big NFT guy, to be honest. Like the art's cool if you're an artist and you can make money off that. I'm down for it, but me personally, I don't invest in NFTs. I think it's cool. I like the technology. I think it can be used for something in the future, but I'm not gonna buy a bunch of NFTs. That's just me. So the marketing event was a bummer. We have hashtag Solo Nation now out of it, if that's something you're into. Other than that, it was a bunch of people just kind of complaining, to be honest, or just coming with ideas that personally I didn't really care about. But I think they kind of realized this. So what they're planning on doing now is they're going to have kind of like an event again, but it's going to be with the technical guys. So this is something that I'm more interested in. So Reza is actually your technical guy. He's hosting an AMA, and the first one is going to be July 14th. This one is going to be around the XLS20 NFT standard. So if you have any questions about that, this is something that you can definitely join and go in there and ask the actual development team what they're working on. But even better than this one, in my opinion, is going to be this one here. They're having another one with Reza, and this one's going to be Monday the 11th, and he's going over the technical white paper. He's going to break it down and then answer community questions. So this is probably my favorite one, right? This is where we're going to have actual questions about the utility and where we're going with this project. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about the inflationary switcheroo going on and just, utility. That's what I care about. So I definitely want to see this. Hopefully they record it. A lot of times they have these AMAs and I'm at work or something. If someone doesn't record it, I can't watch it. So hopefully somewhere there's going to be recorded and I can come back and get the technical breakdown. But other than that, Coreum did go out. I think most of you probably received your core by now. It looks like the transactions actually stopped the 2nd. So everybody should have their core by now. I know I got mine, and it looks like they started issuing the tokens to the exchanges. So now if you don't have your core, you're probably waiting on an exchange to issue you your core. If you want to avoid that, you can easily buy a ledger. I got a link in the description, and then you can kind of custody everything yourself and not have to worry about one of these exchanges deciding last minute that they don't want to issue your tokens. But pretty much that's all I got in this one. Like I said, I want to read this white paper tomorrow, kind of go over it and see what I think. I've heard they're kind of using a lot of the Cosmos network, which that took me by surprise. But before I give any crazy opinions at this point, I want to read it for myself. I'm going to be open-minded about their new inflationary model and hear them out on why they wanted to switch. And yeah, just kind of take it in myself. So let me know what you guys think, and thank you for watching.